In 1893, the renowned Norwegian painter Edvard Munch brought to life one of the most iconic and intriguing works in the history of art, the Scream. This masterpiece not only captivates observers with its emotional intensity and anguished expression, but also invites us to explore a world of fascinating phenomena and curiosities. To deepen our understanding of the world of sound, it is essential to pay attention to the decibel scale. This unit of measurement is fundamental for quantifying sound intensity, starting at 0 decibels, the point that marks the threshold of human hearing. This initial value represents the minimum sound intensity that a normal ear is capable of perceiving. From this base, each increase of 10 decibels on the scale means that the intensity of the sound increases tenfold, revealing a fascinating and complex exponential aspect of our perception of sound. For example, let's consider the tranquil environment of a quiet room, which registers around 20 decibels. This level already indicates a sound intensity 100 times greater than the audible minimum, demonstrating how apparently small variations on the decibel scale can represent significant changes in our auditory experience. However, exposure to sound levels above 85 decibels starts a process of hearing deterioration, which is potentially irreversible, especially if exposure is continuous and prolonged. The roar of a jet engine just 100 meters away can reach 110 decibels, while sounds above 120 decibels have the potential to cause immediate hearing loss. In 1883, an extraordinary event was recorded with the eruption of the Krakatoa volcano in Indonesia. Prior to the disaster, the region was already under threat from intense seismic activity, with earthquakes being felt as far away as Australia. Volcanic activity intensified dramatically on August 25, 1883, with explosions occurring at regular 10-minute intervals. The climax of this cataclysmic event occurred on August 27, with 4 monumental explosions, each powerful enough to generate tsunamis approximately 30 meters high. Particularly remarkably, the third explosion was responsible for the second loudest sound ever recorded in human history. Its reverberation was so vast that it reached impressive distances, being heard 2,292 miles away in Australia and 2,182 miles away on islands in the Indian Ocean. For the local inhabitants of these distant regions, the colossal sound was initially interpreted as the boom of naval cannons in a maritime confrontation of epic proportions, a testament to nature's ability to generate phenomena of immeasurable power. The explosion is estimated to have reached an incredible 180 decibels at a distance of 99 miles from the volcano. To give you an idea, that's about 1,000,000 times more intense than someone blowing a whistle directly into your ear. The energy released was equivalent to 4 times the most powerful nuclear bomb ever tested. However, Krakatoa's fourth and final explosion exceeded all expectations. Volcanic ash was launched at an altitude of approximately 49 miles, and the resulting shockwave traveled at an incredible 674 miles per hour, with an intensity of approximately 310 decibels. This explosion was audible over 3,106 miles away and caused the eardrums of sailors within a radius of 39 miles to rupture. The repercussions of Krakatoa's fourth and final explosion transcended the borders of the Indonesian archipelago, echoing a phenomenon so great that it defied human comprehension. The magnitude of the shockwave generated by this explosion was such that barometers around the globe recorded it passing not once, but impressively 3.5 times around the planet, before its energy finally dissipated. This unique event in the history of the Earth not only astonished scientists and scholars of the time, but also inaugurated a field of curiosities and scientific investigations that remain alive and exciting to this day. However, it is important to note that what happened around Krakatoa did not end with the apparent calm that followed the end of its eruptive activity on August 28, 1883. Although only 30% of the original island withstood the devastating force of the explosions, Krakatoa, now shrouded in silence, continued to influence the world around it. In an almost unimaginable way, this geological event provoked a chain of climatic effects that reconfigured weather patterns on a global scale. In the year following the catastrophic eruption, an abrupt drop in temperatures was observed in the northern hemisphere, reaching approximately 29.84 degrees Fahrenheit lower than expected. The impact of this climate change was so profound that the weather around the world was plunged into a state of chaos, with cities far and wide, including Los Angeles and San Diego, recording unprecedented levels of rainfall between July 1883 and June 1884. This unprecedented phenomenon can be attributed to the significant increase in the concentration of sulfuric acid in the stratosphere, a direct consequence of the eruption, which acted like a giant mirror, reflecting a substantial portion of the sun's radiation back into space. This phenomenon resulted in a global cooling that altered ecosystems, affected agriculture, and left an indelible mark on the planet's climatic history. These events, emanating from the relentless force of Krakatoa, arouse an insatiable curiosity about the interconnections between geological phenomena and their long-term impacts on the Earth's climate, ecosystems, and human society itself. The story of Krakatoa serves as a reminder of the inherent power of our planet and the importance of understanding the forces that shape our world. The volcanic ash released into the atmosphere by Krakatoa also darkened skies around the world, affecting the luminous landscape. This resulted in a series of striking visual effects, such as blue and green moons and exceptionally red sunsets, captivating the minds of observers around the world. And this is where we return to Edvard Munch's painting, The Scream. In 2004, astronomers suggested an intriguing connection between the eruption of Krakatoa and the color palette of the sky depicted in the painting. Although art historians have differing opinions on this theory, the possibility that a distant volcanic eruption inspired one of the most famous works of art in history is fascinating. So when contemplating Edvard Munch's The Scream, consider not only the intensity of the emotions portrayed in the work, but also the intensity of the events that may have inspired it. History is a treasure trove of curiosities and mysteries, and this is just one of the many fascinating stories waiting to be explored.